What's up, guys? We're back. Week 5 of the NFL season. 4 weeks down. We got a quarter of the way through the season already. I can't believe it. Already 4 games through. Let's just take a quick look here at the standings here at Tabuma 2 before we get into all the details of what this week and what's gone down and those kinds of things. So as we look here, myself still at the top of the Pat Tillman division. We got 4-0 here, 371 points, just rolling along here, riding on Alvin Kamara and Patrick Mahomes, leading me through 4 weeks of the season. We got Anthony coming in right behind him at 2-2. He's looking to make a move here, trying to come for that division. Another huge trade today, and we'll get more into that here in a couple minutes. We got Threat Level Midnight at 2-2. Dumpster Fire at 1-3, and then we got Marcus at 1-3, Braun Swanson at 1-3. So anyone's division still at this point. Obviously, only a quarter of the way through the season. Got plenty of time to string some wins together and make a run. As we see here in the Steve Smith Senior division, we got Casey still on top at 4-0 with 320 fantasy points. We got Justin right behind him, actually outscoring him just by 22 points, but he's sitting at 2-2. We got 2-2 teams in the Steve Smith Senior division. Super close race. Kyle coming in 0-4, but I mean, Kyle's team looks good. He got plenty of time, like I said, only 4 games through the season. Plenty of time. It's anyone's division at this point. So, first thing I wanted to do is just kind of look at the transactions. Now, here's the I'm going to scroll down here. The first transaction I wanted to talk about just took place a couple minutes ago, actually. As we see here, we got, it hasn't gone through yet, so it's not on the transaction history. Huge trade. We got top 2 running back going. We got Melvin Gordon. We got Chris Thompson and Doug Baldwin for Dion Lewis, Cooper Kupp, and Stephon Diggs. I was a little shocked when I saw this, just because how well Casey's doing this year. I'm not judging the trade, but I was shocked to see him let Melvin Gordon go. I mean, he's been so consistent. I think he's averaging 17 points per game or so right now, 16-point-something points per game. It'd be tough for me to let Melvin Gordon go right now. I think I would need another top 5 running back or a top 5 wide receiver. And I mean, he's trading pretty much what I see is Melvin Gordon for Cooper Kupp and Stephon Diggs, which 2 solid wide receivers, 2 possible wide receiver 1s maybe. I don't know though. I don't know personally if I would do it, but hey, we'll see how it plays out. Anthony, I think, got the better. I mean, he got the stud in the deal. He got Melvin Gordon, so I think I'm going to go with him on that trade. Anthony's team looking pretty good. He's got those wide receivers, and now Melvin Gordon on his team. Crazy trade though. I thought that was pretty huge. Let's go to the other trades over here. So we had another one this week. We had Kyle trading away Matt Ryan and Marshawn Lynch for Greg Olsen and his guy, Cam Newton. He finally got him. He got Cam. He's going to have that Cam to McCaffrey combination, that combo, that hookup every once in a while. He's rolling with the Panthers, and I can't bash him for that. Gave away a solid RB2 in my opinion, and Marshawn Lynch, and then a guy that's been playing amazing, which is Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has another juicy matchup this week, so I'm assuming Dave's going to start him this week. We'll see. I think that Atlanta-Pittsburgh game is going to be a pretty high-scoring game. 2 not very good defenses, 2 high-flying offenses. And as we look here, we have this Brandon Cooks. Oh, that happened last week, so that's not too big of a deal. But so this is really the only trade in that one I showed you earlier, are the 2 main trades. This one, I don't know. It could go either way. I think I'd rather have the Ryan and Lynch from an outsider perspective, but I can see where Kyle came from to try to snag Cam, and then Greg Olsen come back hopefully within the next couple weeks, but we'll see. We'll see about that one there. All right, let's get down to the matchups now, guys. As we look here, I'm going to scroll up here and go to the matchups if I can. So the first one I'm going to start with is actually myself versus Mike this week. Okay. So as we see here, this is our lineups thus far. So he's starting Watson, obviously. Watson looking a little better. Going up against Dallas defense is kind of middle of the pack against opposing quarterbacks. He's got Gurley going against Seattle. That could be a huge game there. I feel pretty confident about this week, and here's why. I think Calvin Ridley, he's been super hot. I do think that, and I think that game's going to be high scoring, so I think that could be another good play for him. I think that there's going to be a lot of points to go around in that game. I don't like the Mahomes matchup, obviously. He's been so good playing against Jacksonville. Give me hope that he is at home this game, though, so I think he will ultimately put up a pretty good number here. I'm not banking on those 4 or 5 touchdowns that I've been accustomed to getting from him. I'm thinking if he throws 2 touchdowns, Jacksonville has only allowed 3 passing touchdowns this year in 4 games, so they're obviously a stellar defense. No need to even talk about them. They're so good. But not worried. Patrick Mahomes handles pressure very well, as you saw in that Monday night game against Denver. They were really getting after him, forcing him to come out of the pocket, but he threw 192 yards out of the pocket, which is incredible. He's a beast. Then we got Alvin Kamara. Lots of people talking about Mark Ingram coming back. I don't think it's going to affect him very much. If anything, I think it boosts his value because I think last year, as you could see, those two together in the lineup, back and forth, if he gets 15 touches, he can be a stud. All he needs is 15 touches a game, and he's going to easily get that. I believe Sean Payton said even before the start of the year, we want to limit Alvin Kamara's touches so we can keep him healthy. Well, they've limited him with touches the last 4 games. And I think he's proven to be okay, leading the league in fantasy points with 79 in our league. I think it's going to be a good game between me and Mike. Obviously, I have myself taking this game. Still kind of debating. I'm not going to lie. I'm still kind of debating my flex right now with Amari Cooper. He's kind of a boomer bust play for me right now, but ultimately the Chargers are actually giving up the 5th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers this year, so I'm kind of leaning towards him just matchup-wise. So as we go to the next game here, let's go to the next one here. So next we got Kansas City Chiefs, Chefs versus Threat Level Midnight. I have Threat Level Midnight taking this game. I think he's gonna hand Casey his first loss this year. No Melvin Gordon, as we see here. He traded him away. He's gonna be replacing him with Stephon Diggs and Cooper Kupp, so he's gonna be starting those wide receivers. As we saw last week, I mean, that trade for Michael Golden Tate looked really good. Emmanuel Sanders, I think, bounced back, have a good game here. Good game this week, so I have him taking it. Jared Goff against Seattle probably has a big game, but I think Tom Brady tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football, is going to have a good game, and it looks like he's starting Julian Edelman. Might possibly have a hookup with him tomorrow. We'll see. But I think Michael takes this game. A lot riding on tomorrow. He's got Gronk. I'm pretty sure he's going to start. Okay, I don't think that injury is too serious, but I got Michael taking this game. As we go to the next one here. Come on. All right, the next game we got King or Slingers versus Platonic Rapists. I got Rapists taking this game. As of right now, Anthony has TJ Yeldon starting here. Chiefs are actually the worst defense against opposing running backs. So they're dead last, 32 against the run, against opposing running backs, fantasy points wise. Don't know if he's still going to start him. He has Mark Ingram on his bench, and obviously he's going to be starting Melvin Gordon this week. I think Anthony's team looks good, and I hate to say it because he's right behind me in the standings, but I think his team looks pretty solid. I think he gets a W here. Justin's team, Andrew Luck is looking to bounce back here against New England tomorrow night. Has some pretty good matchups here. But I just ultimately think Anthony's team is pretty dominant right now. Looking at it, even all the way through tight end position, I think he looks pretty good in his defense. So I have Anthony taking this game. Unfortunately, he's going to be creeping up behind me in the standings a little bit. As we go to the next game here, we got who do we got here? McCaffrey's and Gathering Gloom. I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. I think Kyle gets his first W again this week. Again, I'm calling it here. I think he gets his first W. Acquisition of Cam. I think that's going to be a good game for him going against the Giants. Kareem Hunt. I think they're actually going to be running the ball a little bit more this week against Jacksonville. Not going to be able to throw as much. They're going to need to get some sort of ground game going. I think they give the ball to Kareem Hunt. I think this is a huge Christian McCaffrey week. I think McCaffrey has a huge game this week against the Giants. The Giants actually giving up the 6th most fantasy points to opposing running backs this year, and I think he has a huge game in the passing game as well. Maybe gets a hookup from him and Cam, and I think he gets in the end zone once or twice here. Cooks, I think, has a big game, and the rest of his wide receivers we'll see, kind of boom or bust, but we'll kind of see with Kenny Stills. We got we got Gloom still riding with the Packers here, still starting the two wide receiver combo with Devontae Adams and Geronimo Allison. Not a bad game to do it against Detroit. They're kind of middle of the pack against wide receivers, and their defense has been okay, I guess. Alfred Blue, not a huge fan of. Chris Hogan, been super boomer bust. I think he has a combined maybe 16. He has one game that had 2 touchdowns and only 3 receptions, just not getting the volume that I thought he would get this year. I honestly thought I had him higher to start the year. I thought he'd be getting a lot more volume than he has. But we'll see, with Julian Edelman coming back, that might spread the offense a little bit more, have defense kind of key on him a little bit, and maybe Chris Hogan gets a little more action, a little more volume out there on the outside. But we'll see. I personally would not start him this week, but he's going with him, so he's going to roll him out there. Like I said, I have Kyle taking this matchup here. And then the last matchup of the week, we have Decleters versus Braun Swanson, the father-son matchup of the week. 2-2 team versus 1-3, close game projection-wise. I'm sorry, Marcus. I apologize, but I have your dad taking this W. I think his team looks pretty good right now. Like I said, I think this game's going to be huge, this Pittsburgh game here. I think there's going to be a lot of points to be scored, and I think Julio finally gets in the end zone here. I think Matt Ryan slings for 3 or 4 touchdowns in this game. Like I said, just super high-scoring game. I think, who knows, though, for sure. And then AB, obviously, in that game, too. So just a lot of points to go around in that game, and I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I have Dave taking this one. I do think Carson Wentz this matchup with Minnesota, the NFC Championship from last year, I think Carson Wentz has a really good game here. I think he kind of bounces back and starts to get that connection back. And I think with Alshon Jeffrey especially, don't know if you're going to be starting him or not. Looks like you have AP in at the moment over him. Or Alex Collins, I don't know, whichever one your flex. But I think this is going to be a really close matchup. I think David Johnson actually has a good game against San Francisco. So we'll see. But I have Dave taking this matchup, guys. And that's about all I have today. Big trades going down into Booma. Just a lot of action. Like I said, anyone's division at this point. I'm starting off strong as usual. But anything can happen. Like I said, I could string some losses together. Who knows? That's very rare, but we'll see. All right, guys. Have a good week. I'll be in California for the games this week. I'll be on the beach, sipping a pina colada, watching the games, having a good time, watching my guys dominate. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. Tearing you a new one this week. Have a good one. Peace.